Joseph Appiah is my name, a tutor for economics. I welcome you to today's lesson for economics for Form 2. And the topic to be discussed is theory of consumer behavior. Theory of consumer behavior. In our previous discussion, particularly on demand, in our analysis on demand, we realized that the normal demand curve slopes left to right downwards. Normal demand curve. The vertical axis considers the price, the various prices for the commodity, and the horizontal axis picks up the various quantities for the various quantities for the commodity. So we realize that at P1, quantity demanded was Q1. When price increased from P1 to P2, quantity demanded fell from 22, from K1 to Q2. That if it is in figures, from 2 cedis to 5 cedis, and quantity fell from 20 to 12. This shows a negative slope of the demand curve. And our attention will be focused on the negative slope of this demand curve. That is why consumers buy less of a commodity at a higher price and more of the commodity when price falls. Simply, or in short, quantity demanded of the commodity increases when price falls, and on the other hand, quantity demanded falls when price rises, all things being equal. The theory of consumer behavior is based on the concept of utility. The theory of consumer behavior is based on the concept of utility. So for better understanding of this theory of consumer behavior, there is the need to look at certain concepts of consumer behavior. Utility, utils, total utility, average utility, and marginal utility. We are taking them one after the other. What is utility? Utility refers to as the satisfaction that a consumer derives from consuming a particular commodity at a time. Simply the feeling that the consumer experiences or the pleasures that the consumer gains when he or she consumes the commodity. For example, if someone eats rice, the satisfaction the person is deriving is referred to as utility. The feeling. And normally, when you look at the time that parents buy new dresses for their kids, during Christmas, when they wear it, they feel the feeling that they are experiencing is utility. Utility. What is it? Utility is the unit measure of the satisfaction that the consumer gains when he consumes the commodity. We use these utility to show how much or the amount of satisfaction the consumer has received. For example, when you want to measure a height, you measure it in a unit called feet. Or when you want to measure a distance, we measure it in a unit called kilometers. So when we measure satisfaction, we measure it in utils. So if Kofi drinks water and we measure the satisfaction that he receives and say 10, then we say Kofi has received or gained a satisfaction of 10 what? Utils. So it's a unit measure of a satisfaction. The third point is total utility. What is total utility? Total utility is the total amount of satisfaction that the consumer receives for consuming a particular commodity. How is it measured? How is it measured or calculated? So we have the formula. Total utility. One, total utility could be measured by multiplying the average utility by the quantity consumed. That is, TU is equal to AU times quantity. So for example, if AU2 is 5 utils and quantity consumed is 2, then what will be the total utility? So we are going to have TU2 equals to AU2 times Q2, and that will be 5 utils times 2, and that will be TU2 will equal to 10 utils. That is one formula. 2. TU is equal to summation of MUs. It's equal to summation of MUs. MUs means adding the various marginal utilities. So TU, if for example is 3, then we are going to have MU0 plus MU1 plus MU2 plus MU3. Summing up these various marginal utilities will get you the total utilities. Then the next method of calculating total utility is total utility is equal to total utility for the previous quantity plus the marginal utility of the current quantity. So for example, if you are calculating total utility 2, then we have total utility 1, that is previous, plus the marginal utility 2, that is the one received. I'm giving all this because sometimes they may give you the marginal utilities without the average utility. So when the average utility is not given, then use the marginal utilities to find your total utility. So it's very important to learn all the three methods of calculating the total utility. How is the curve drawn? You have two axes, the vertical and horizontal. The vertical axis will pick the utility, point of origin, and the horizontal line will pick the quantities. Or the quantity. So we may have a curve like this, which of course you have a TU. Subsequent steps, you know how to plot the point. So now let's go to average utility. What is average utility? Average utility is the per unit satisfaction that the consumer receives for consuming a particular commodity. Say the average utility, the mean utility. How is it calculated? Average utility is calculated. I'm talking of formula or calculation. AU is equal to TU divided by the quantity. And this will give you the average utility. So for example, if the total utility 3 is equal to 15, and then quantity demanded is 3, then what will be the average utility? Of course, average utility 3 is equal to TU 3 over quantity 3, 15 over 3, which is equal to 5 utils, which is equal to 5 utils. Please take notes. Now the next point is marginal utility. What is marginal utility? Marginal utility is the additional satisfaction a consumer receives when he consumes an additional quantity of the commodity. The additions received for consuming an addition of the commodity. How is it calculated? Marginal utility is equal to total utility for current consumption level minus the previous consumption level over current quantity minus previous quantity, or change in total utility over change in what? Quantity. These are the two methods you can use to calculate for your marginal utility. For example, if TU2 is equal to 10 utils and TU1 is equal to 8 utils. Q quantity 2 is equal to 2 and quantity 1 is equal to 1. Then you can calculate your total marginal utility as the TU2 is the current, and then the TU1 is the previous. So 10 utils minus 8 over 2 minus 1, and that will give you 2 utils. Please, same thing here, because the differential is just like current minus previous. So either you write this or that, but at the end of the day you end up with this figure. Now let's do some illustrations. Please, the curves for average utility, the same two axes, the utility here and then the quantity here. Average utility, and then marginal utility, the two axes. Utility here and then the quantity here. You know, the average utility curve will never touch the quantity axis. But you see, the marginal utility can assume a negative values and therefore touch or even go beyond the quantity axis. Now illustration. Utility schedule. Quantity demanded kill. Total utility DU. Average utility AU, and marginal utility MU. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here 10, A, 24, Now the question is, complete the utility schedule. A. Complete the utility schedule. B. Draw the curves for TU, AU, and MU. A. Total utility A. Of course, we have AU 2. Total utility A is, or total utility 2 is A. So we have AU2 over Q2. So AU2 is equal to 9, and then quantity 2 is equal to 2. Therefore, we have times Q2. So 9 times 2 will give us 18 utils for A. Now, Q, this one you should solve them yourselves. Then let's look for average utility 1, which is D. So average utility 1, which is D, is equal to total utility 1 over Q1. Total utility 1 is equal to 10, and Q1 is equal to 1. Therefore, AU1 is equal to 10 over 1, and that will be 10 utils. Just follow the steps to complete F and to complete G and what? F. Then we have H. We have H. H is marginal utility 3. It's marginal utility 2, which is H. Of course, it's equal to total utility, the current one, which will be 2. Which will be 2 minus the previous total utility, which is 1, all over Q2 minus Q1. So total utility 2 is, according to our calculation, we had 18. So 18 minus 10 over 2 minus 1, which of course you are going to have U2, marginal utility 2, as 8 utils. You follow it up to calculate for the rest of I and what? H. Now with the curves, you only have to draw your axes, the two axes. You only have to draw your two axes. You only have to draw your two axes. Then you come here and pick the highest value on the data. The highest value here, according to this schedule, is 30. So you choose a scale which will be more appropriate to draw it, make the curve correct and accurate. So I choose 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then I label it from 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 up to. Here is the utility. Then the quantity we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you go to, when you are drawing your total utility, you can draw it first. So you look at the corresponding figures. 1, then you have the total utility to be 10. Total utility to be 10. So 1, 10, 18, in that order. When you finish calculating it, you also finish continuing the drawing. Then you come to average utility. It's 10 here when 1 was consumed, and 9 when the second quantity was consumed. Then you continue with it. Then you come to the marginal utility. 10 here for quantity 1 and 8 here for quantity 2. So 8 here for quantity 2. So you join the points together. You join the points together. Then you join the points together. You realize that you have arrived at a good curve. And proper labeling. This one is total utility. This is total utility curve, average utility curve, and marginal utility curve. Continue like that. Thank you very much. I hope this will be good for you. Thank you. Anyway.